wherever you may be. Concacaf U-20 Championship is about to get underway from Tegucigalpa as Canada takes on St. Kitts and Nevis. Good afternoon, everyone. David Gascon, thank you for joining us today as we close out Group E competition. Pitch conditions today, 78 degrees Fahrenheit and a rather slight chance of rain. I say that tongue-in-cheek, 51% chance of rain. A bit of humidity as well, winds blowing out 10 miles per hour. Should get a little bit better as the night goes along. But Group E, as we close up shop, you have Cuba as the top team right now with 6 points. They'll get together later on tonight with the United States. Those two teams will lock up following this one, Canada and St. Kitts and Nevis, 3 and 4 respectively. But you see the goal differential, and that's the alarming part. Odds-on favorite tonight to win this match is Canada. But obviously, St. Kitts and Nevis can disrupt their thoughts of getting to the next round, but obviously have to get a win here tonight. Both these teams coming off different performances just a couple days ago, and we highlight the one with Cuba and St. Kitts and Nevis, a game in which Cuba only won this game by pulling away late in the second half, 6-0. Kevin Martin was the lone marker in the opening half. A lot of damage was done late in this contest, but for Cuba, they had to sweat things out for a little bit. Martin's goal happened in the 18th minute of competition, and St. Kitts and Nevis hung around for quite a while. And then all of a sudden the barrage came. 4 goals that were scored in the final 18 minutes of competition in a game that was 1-0 and tight throughout, completely tipped one way towards Cuba. Now you look at what Cuba did against St. Kitts and Nevis, 6-0, and then all of a sudden you go to the other ledger and the United States and Canada. This game was a seesaw affair to close out Group E on a wild night. The second game between the United States and Canada ended in a 2-2 draw. Larry Wright had the first goal for Canada in the 15th minute, but the United States would answer quickly. Jack McGlynn in the 53rd minute got things level at 1 apiece. Canada recaptured their advantage. Michael Holiday scored. It was an own goal in the 69th minute, but Canada nevertheless took full advantage of it, leading 2-1. And Cade Calvo got the equalizer late in that contest. The 73rd minute, he got the equalizer. Game ended in a 2-2 draw, so obviously a lot of attention today is on what the United States and Cuba do, and then for that matter, what Canada can do here today. So you think about what St. Kitts and Nevis has done, well, not a whole lot. Goal differential is -16, and the biggest reason for that is they've yet to score a goal so far in 2 games in U-20 championship competition. So lines are changing a little bit, starting lineups, the philosophy might change, the pieces, whatever it may be. St. Kitts and Nevis needs not only a goal, but a win in the worst kind of way, because obviously their thoughts about getting to the next stage, and they can only do that with a win here today. A draw will do nothing for them, especially when you look at the goal differential going against them. As far as Group E goes, Canada right now is the top one that you look for. Canada, United States, and Canada. And how these teams will be aligned as we go about, well, someone's going to get Honduras. And also, Honduras will be making their way in towards a group of round of 16. Now, whoever wins Group E is going to get Nicaragua. That'll be taking place on June the 25th. So you're thinking about positioning, you're thinking about settings and how this will be aligned for a couple of these teams. One of them is in a good spot here today, Canada. They can advance the round of 16 with either a win or a draw. St. Kitts and Nevis needs a goal. They need some help defensively, and they need a win in the worst kind of way. With all that being said, we're going to step aside for a few moments. Got the national anthems and the starting 11s coming up next.
Damas y caballeros, por favor, ponerse de pie. A continuación, los himnos nacionales. A continuación, el himno nacional de Canadá. continuación, el himno nacional del St. Kitts y Nevis.
And we are live here with Group E coming to a close. Canada and St. Kitts and Nevis. You take a look at the starting 11. First off for Canada, Ben Alexander is in net again here today. His third start and third appearance so far. That back line, Kwasi Poku, is also going to be there making his third start in 3 tries. Mateo Campagna as well. Rita Zuhir will be wearing the captain's badge on this lovely Wednesday afternoon. Kobe Franklin on the back line as well. Mauro Biello, the team manager. You see the officials today. Roundabouts from Jamaica, Ashani Nation will be the lead official on the day. See how busy he gets just because of what we've seen in recent weeks, given the fact that we have seen a barrage against St. Kitts and Nevis. The goals against ledger, the VAR room. That's been busy on several occasions, so we'll check in from time to time with the offside officials as well. Canada right now 0-1-1. They have 1 point so far in Group E competition, and their opponents on the day, St. Kitts and Nevis, they're going to need some help. They've had changes in goal and also up and down the forward sections as well. But again, they have yet to score a goal in Group E competition. It's a drastically different club than we've been used to in the recent years. Best performance, you'd have to go back to 2018, 2017, where they got to the round of 16. They came in as a ranked 15th entrant. Let's see the opening coin toss. Zuhir chatting about it with Nation. Kalen LeBird wearing the captain's badge here today. And on this side for St. Kitts and Nevis, 0-2 so far, changing in goal. Vibrant Steven will get the nod here today. Johnny Mills moving up front. Combination for them today a little bit different in terms of the pieces. They'll go with a 5-3-2 alignment. So obviously a heavy focus and concentration on the back line. They want to keep this game close, at least for the first 45. If they can do that, then anything could happen. But of course, when you look at the stage right now where they have been, the United States carved them up. They beat them 10-0 in game number 1. And then Cuba got them a couple days ago. Cuba victorious 6-0. But again, only leading 1-0 at the end of the first half. That might give St. Kitts and Nevis things to think about, obviously, as this game is about to get underway. St. Kitts and Nevis can play a disruptor for a couple different reasons. Obviously, with Canada, where they're at right now, third best team in Group E. Steven getting himself set. See the pitch right now, the field conditions, rather choppy. Weather given away. Obviously, these teams competing a couple days ago on said surface as we're at the National Stadium.
Come on.
We're all getting ready. That includes our officials, microphones, batteries, and the whole 9 yards. We close things out. United States, the reigning champs, will be making a mark somehow, some way once we get to the round of 16. Curacao is already there. Dominican Republic is there. Puerto Rico is also there. Honduras playing their way in along with Costa Rica, El Salvador, Panama, Guatemala. They're all hanging around. This match is officially underway. So the team from Canada, the U-20 championship squad, going from right to left on your screen. St. Kitts and Nevis going from left to right in their green tops, the green bottoms, green socks. Canada all white, a little bit of red as well. The nation of Canada also have things to celebrate away from today's activities. National Hockey League had their annual awards the other day. Austin Matthews of the Toronto Maple Leafs winning the Hart Ross Trophy as the league MVP. First Maple Leaf to do that since back in 1971. As he beat out Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on a runaway. But that's a different service, a different sport, of course, and Canada wants to make some noise here in the Concacaf U-20 championship. They'll have plenty of opportunities if they win here today to make some noise. Kitts and Nevis, though, gonna have a different animal compared to what Cuba and the United States have to offer. One element to their game they'll have to be a strength is possession time. Not been able to muster many shots on target in the first couple encounters against the United States and Cuba. So we'll see what they do with the possession game here today. Panya. Poku. Bula making the start today. Cam at midfield. Lost that handle. It's going to be played back to Steven. Bongwe is up front, along with Asi. Weather is fair today at 74 degrees. The field conditions will be observant of throughout this entire match. 90 plus a few, I would imagine. You just see the surface towards the middle of the pitch. Outside still relatively green, so it'll be a matter if the ball does run a little hot at times, or if it can get stagnant towards the middle of the field. Of course, that'll be something to look out for each manager when it comes to set pieces. A bird tied up. Franklin, first time calling Kobe's name today, native from Toronto, Canada. Playing for Toronto FC2 in the MLS Next Pro. He'll peel this one back. Match is just underway. We're in the 4th minute. Glad you can be here with us. It's a relatively easy Wednesday afternoon for both these teams. Canada wins or gets a draw. They'll take shape into a brand new bracket. Outside of that, I think Kitts and Nevis needs to do a couple different things. First off, it's a goal differential. Mauro Biello, team manager. Regan Hall, the goalkeeper coach. Andrew Oliveri, one of the assistant coaches on this squad. Johnny Mills waiting for a throw in. Kevin Welsh on the opposing side. He's got his hands full. I mean, you can't deny that. Can't sugarcoat a goal differential of -16. You just can't. But of course, the most important thing is staying within yourself as an athlete, as a team manager, and as a squad, because when things tend to unravel, it's when it's easier to give up. But the youth is on this side for St. Kitts and Nevis, and obviously the U-20s are playing with 17 and 18 and 19-year-olds. It makes things a little bit different. Just outside the 18. Abibula on the left side. That one goes rolling on in as Stevens saw it all the way. A little bit of congestion around him, but nevertheless, a quick stop. Pretty decent run the left wing. Abibula. And an early foul. Marta. Now we got Nation speaking with Mills. No real threat so far on either side. Morris just looks like he's getting a tongue lashing, and now Nation's telling both squads to pull up their socks a little bit. Knee high, of course. Cadavolo trying to dance a little bit. Cadavolo walking that goal line, taken down. This will be an early corner kick, though, for Canada. Morris tried forcing him out and then had to make good with playing the ball cleanly, and he did. First chance, though, for Canada on a set piece. Zuhair will take it. A Moroccan and Canadian background for him. 2016, joined the Montreal Impact Academy. That header nicely placed away by St. Kitts and Nevis. Should be a throw-in for Canada, and it is. That'll be one of many keys defensively for St. Kitts and Nevis, is how they respond to set pieces. Are they chasing the ball? Are they panicking? Are they staying on level ground? Here. Poku. Campagna. Let your patience be an exercise. Alphonse Jefferson getting the start here today. It's his first start in 3 contests. Cadavolo. Tactically positioning, you see St. Kitts and Nevis, that 5 on the back line, really trying to make everything from Canada outside the 18 on strikes. Zuhair, a step, a move, he shoots the left foot, just misses that far bar, and not by much. Well, the placement was neither great or poor, but the velocity was having something to think about for Zuhair. Might have been a miss hit. I tell you what, just misses that far bar by a couple of inches, otherwise it would have been 1-0. Canada lost to Cuba 1-0 when they opened things up on June the 18th in Group E. Played to a draw with the United States just a couple days ago, and today they're back on the horse. Cadavolo gets it back outside the 18, not a screamer. Easy stop for Steven this time. Mentioned and highlighted the conditions today on the pitch. Might have come into play on 2 strikes so far by Cadavolo and also Zuhair. You're not necessarily stepping on grass. There'll be certain spots where it's just mud. It means grip or lack thereof, and then an occasional divot or two because you're hitting the bottom end of the ball. Bird foul. Zuhair into the box. No flag was up. Rather curious what would have happened had that one gone on target, even in the back of the net. Kwasi Poku, 6'3", and just 19 years of age from Brampton, Canada. How about that when you're competing for a nation? Size, strength on that back line. That shot on goal, not handled properly by Alexander. I'll tell you what, he's awfully fortunate on that strike. attempt from his bet. Didn't have a sharp angle, but pulled the trigger anyway. Nice look from him. Zion, 17 years of age. Panya playing with the Vancouver Whitecaps right now. Was a part of Canada's U-15 squad and played at the 2019 Concacaf Boys U-15 Championship. So he's been around the block. It's part of the luxury with many of these players on the roster for Canada. They've gone through the ranks academy-wise. They've had the experience in the U-15 squads. And when you do that, it just changes the dynamic, not only how you project to be, but also the confidence of being amongst the upper echelon. Chance here on the opposing side. Garnett, that shot blocked on the way through. It's a great play and then cleared away by Cannavolo. Early chance here. Bird was nullified. The best scoring opportunity for either side as we go back to it.
Don't jump. Watch on your steps.
Jefferson with the good closing speed, able to wipe that play away. Bird, though, with the right foot. Don't know if he anticipated Jefferson getting on to him as quickly as he did. That would have been a surprise. Of course, you always get the joy of what these young players are doing right now on a national stage, despite the fact that they're not on their native land. Plenty of chatter on Twitter, Reddit, other social media sites about the potential and the promise, and then of course the expectations of where they're at right now in the U-20 championship of Concacaf. And tried winning it, he does. Bird playing a little cat and mouse. This one he played back to Steven. Was bearing down on him. Getting our way towards the 14th minute. Fairly even so far. Possession going towards Canada. Shots, though, have been identical so far, and at least if you're the skipper and Kelvin Walsh, you have to be happy playing even as you are. Cannavolo. Outside header easily handled by Steven. Bills wanted them to hurry up. He did not. It was given away. Campagna here. Here. Soft pass. Gula into the box, played out. Maybe on a hand. Longway knew it. Body language says it all right there. Tried settling it. Got upstairs on him. Jefferson on service. Mbangwe was there. That one was wiped away, though, by Morris. And Jefferson will have to hustle back. Canada has fared well in recent years in the U-20 championships. Title winners back in 1986, 1996. So 24th appearance in the Concacaf U-20 championships. So they've been around for quite some time. Ranked 9th as we speak. Top dog is the United States. Of course, things can change rather quickly. Bongway's okay. Round of 16 will get underway on June the 25th. We'll go back-to-back days, 25th and 26th. A few days away from now. Nicaragua, as we mentioned, is there. Curacao, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. Quarterfinals will take place on the 28th. And the final will be July the 3rd. So everything near and dear and quickly approaching. St. Kitts and Nevis took on the United States on the 18th. The United States with a barrage. They had scored 5 goals in the opening half. And then added another one during stoppage time. So you look at it, it wasn't just 1-0, it was 6-0 before things were finally settled. And then St. Kitts and Nevis made an adjustment against Canada, only trailed 1-0 at the end of the first half. And then all of a sudden, the dam was broke, and here came 4 more goals in the closing minutes. Bongway back. Nice takeaway. St. Kitts and Nevis on the counter. Able to maintain possession, though. Possession time, 61% for Canada. Let's see. Ula with the chip, that header wiped away. And this will be a throw-in for Canada.
Hey, come on. Reda, shift the back.
Bongway. Pellegrino up out wide for Racine. Zoo here. Canada came out with a 4-4-2 on the day. Bongway wants it back. Pellegrino. See with a step. And this will result in another corner. Let's see who takes this. Looks to be Poku. As we're in the 20th minute. Poku signed with Toronto FC 2 last year. Moved up to USL League 1. So he continues to add to his resume. Left-footed bender, and that one never had a chance. Didn't get enough air underneath it. here. Entry, the header, stopped by Steven. That thing would have gone wide anyway. Jefferson tried his luck. Fon's there. But at least one thing for Canada is they're not playing direct, taking a lot of these opportunities off the angle. Morris. Tell you what, he had one chip to go. Garnett was going to be out wide on the races. Would have been out on the track, left alone. C had his hand up. Flag hasn't come up though. Bongwe. Now's the point, at least when you're in the 22nd minute. Legs aren't as fresh, but the bodies are warm, and you figure if it's a boxing match with an underdog and a big favorite, now you're seeing Kitts and Nevis, and you're not thinking about being the overwhelming underdog. Now you're in the middle of this thing. You've been playing well, at least defensively. Tactically, Canada has been relatively sharp, and the passing has been clean. So that, if anything, working to their advantage. Marian LeBird.
Hold it up, be strong, you go, be strong. Be strong, get it wide.
Bird on the takeaway. Kitts and Nevis, no numbers though, 3-on-4. Bird. Nice takedown by Jefferson, playing the ball all the way. No harm and certainly no foul here. Nation telling the fellas to keep going. Bula wanted it back. Catavallo says no. Zuhir. Get the sense that Canada's going to play this thing as patient as they can. Campagna. Zuhir. Catavallo. And he gets taken down outside the 18. This will be awfully close to a booking. He got hit in what you would not call the sweet spot. Burt called for it. Free kick coming into Canada. It's from about 25 yards out. So who takes this strike?
Red is on the ball. Red is on the ball. Come on.
Looks like Zuhir will have it. You got Steven on his line trying to direct some traffic with his defenders. Forward to a wall. We'll see if Zuhir plays this rather quickly or just takes a shot. Poker to his right. Zuhir, right-footed strike. That one misses by a good 5 feet. Not his best effort going over the wall. Thought he would go the long way. So far, the best opportunity of this match was from St. Kitts and Nevis. Once Jefferson with a fine play defensively, that strike easy enough. Bula with the right-footed attempt. Plays for the Vancouver Whitecaps FC. Been loaned out. He's from Uzbekistan. Not a big guy, but he can move. 5'8" and about 150 pounds. Let's see with the win here. Splitting two defenders, at least trying to. Myers formidable on that. Caravolo. Pellegrino from North York, Ontario. Ripe old age of 18. Making his third start today in 3 contests. Bongway using force. Zuhir. And Bongway, that right foot, nearly opportunistic. What a fortunate skip to have it land on his right foot anyway. Grief. Zuhir certainly didn't draw it up this way, rather flat on his attempt, and Bongway was left all alone just inside the 18. We've seen some bounces so far over the last week and a half, but that would have been ridiculous. Of course, it would have been simple fate for St. Kitts and Nevis. Mateo Campagna. Hearing some directions from the lead official. Campagna with the U-15 squad of Canada. And now on the U-20. Dad Luca was born in Italy. His mom, Tara, from Vancouver. That right-footed strike, miss hit completely by Chihuahua. Two perfect places to be at this time of year. Wonder if Mateo will be going to Italy anytime soon. Of course, back up to Vancouver on off days. C, right foot. Mabula, that shot blocked on the way through. Jude, I think, got a left foot on it. C just found a quick lane. Actually, you had 2 defenders that were on it. LeBird at the last second. Looked like Steven would have gotten to it all the way. Another cross. The header almost directed in cleanly by Mbangwe. Pressure still coming on. Steven gets his paws on it from Kobe Franklin. Tell you what, Kobe had a pretty good look at it. Let's take a peek at him right there. So about nearly 30 yards out. Pretty good juice on that shot. Still scoreless. Bula wanted it back, has it now out wide. Myers marking him. Caravolo, left foot, the header, that one just misses as well. So the angles and the approach right now for Canada have been exceptional. They're not relying strictly on Town alone. It's the creativity playing out wide with different angles. And that's exactly what you need against the back line of 5 defenders. Tactically, you just can't get frustrated. Zuhir on the approach, line drive. Burnett punt this thing away. See the ball dying though at the middle of the pitch like that. It just doesn't work in the favor of someone trying to clear and switch the pitch. Have to be aware of that, not only as we get into the good night here this match, but also later on this evening with the United States and Cuba. Caravolo with a gapped on that. Jefferson and Alexander will come out. Amari on the bird. 18 years of age. Turns 19 in October. And of course, much like everybody else amongst the starting 11 of St. Kitts and Nevis, yet to get into the scoring column. If you're newly arriving to the U-20 championships. Ooh, that was hard contact upstairs. Mbangwe's down. Burt also there. But I think Burt earned himself a yellow card. I don't know if he's trying to sell it here or not, but this is a dangerous foul. Bang. Tell you what, Mbangwe is about 5'10". Had he been a little bit shorter, that would have been good night. I'm rather puzzled at that. Mbangwe called for the booking. My apologies, we thought it was going the other way towards Burt. Not the case, though. It's his first yellow card in 2+ matches now. I just don't know how that could have been given to Mbangwe. But that's why we're not there and we're here, right? Judan approach. Nice bet. That one's quickly wiped away. Back comes Canada on the counter. No numbers, though. Jones haven't called his number today just yet for St. Kitts and Nevis. This will go to Canada. Canada's U-20 squad been around for over 30 years. That's really close to a handball from Pellegrino. It's a great look by our guys. Poku, it's a bang-bang play. Campagna. Pellegrino, not on the same page with a C. Gabriel, 18 years of age, signed with SC Freiburg in the Bundesliga. Offered a contract with Toronto FC, but decided to play overseas, not in his native land. Decided to play in Germany. He thought that was best for him. Great experience overseas. He did train with FC Barcelona and Porto. Many believe led to his decision to play overseas. Dual citizenship for Pellegrino, Italy and Canada. Another luxury. You get quite a few players like that, not only in Canada, but the United States, Mexico. Bula plays it back. Caravolo overplays it. this thing out of harm's way. 36th minute. Not a lot to write home about. Scoring chances relatively even. Give 3 unofficially to Canada, 1 for St. Kitts and Nevis. If you're St. Kitts and Nevis, you're happy with the score right now. You know there's work to be done. For Canada, of course, you'd be content playing to a scoreless draw, but Pellegrino showing his clear frustration. And now he'll get a little bit of a lecture. Different on the pitch than if you were in the classroom, right? Canada has had some opportunities to appear in the FIFA U-20 World Cup. Done so a handful of times. Ran through a dry spell that's lasted quite a while. Last time they did compete in the FIFA U-20 World Cup back in 2007 as the host. Prior to that, 2005, 2003, 2001. In 2003 was their best showing. They were dispatched in the quarterfinals. Ibula. He goes down, tried selling it. No one biting though. The back line for Canada has not been tested defensively. A C, that thing was skirted wide. But there is engagement from the back line of Canada. They've been relatively clean defensively, but offensively they've been active with passing across the pitch, and they have forced their way up on numerous occasions. St. Kitts and Nevis, their U-20 squad, just have not had a great deal of success since their formation. Concacaf U-20 championships consisting of 20 teams, 16 plus another 4. Top 3 teams from each group. An additional 3 from the knockout stage. Winners of each group get to be placed accordingly, and then they'll be in the driver's seat against the knockout teams. So right now, if you are Canada, the one thing you need to do today is win. The problem with them, though, Canada, is the goal differential. They would need to have something drastically different in terms of their performance through the first 39 plus right now, because their goal differential is -1. Now they tied the United States 2-2, but the problem is, when you look at tiebreakers, head-to-head matchups, and goal differentials, those things come into play. The United States, they shellacked St. Kitts and Nevis, winning 10-0, so the goal differential for the U.S. is +10. Now, Cuba could, not easily, but they could conceivably tattoo the United States, and if they do that, then you might have a conversation, but that's neither here nor there. Canada needs to win today. First off, they need a goal first. And then things can happen after that. So we're getting too far ahead of ourselves, but as you would imagine, and many fans do, and we do it with them as we look ahead, the chess pieces are on the board, and then see who can make some noise and do some damage. Group F controlled right now by Mexico. Mexico, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago. Honduras, a perfect 2-0 so far. They have 6 points. Costa Rica and Jamaica amongst the members in Group H. So you're looking at Group E as it stands right now. It'll be in that bottom bracket. More than likely matched up with the second ranked team in Group G, which if you play this all out, it would be Canada versus Panama. The chip, the insert, that one hit the crossbar, loose change, and stays out. Looked like a harmless attempt, but that ball continued to sail and got on top of Steven. Alertly for Steven, he was on his line. Yeah, that header by Morris, I mean, it was Morris's attempt to have that ball headed over the net. Not into the net. That shot, the approach. Jefferson, he's moving around a little bit. Alphonse, left foot turns. Loose. Mauro Biello, the manager, changing his pieces around a little bit. You're rather curious how much stoppage time we have just because of the environment through the first 45, at least when we get there. There haven't been many lulls. One harmful foul, but relatively clean in terms of injuries. There have been moments where you look at it, whether it's the first half or second, in an eyesore, but not this contest. It's been clean. Zoo here. Rita. Contact. Pellegrino went down, tried selling it. Nevis, Nisbet. Zion waiting for reinforcements. That is the problem tactically with a 5-3-2. You don't have a lot of love coming with you. See the look on Franklin's face, like what gives. And we can concur. Be the judge on that. It's a dangerous proposition for Pellegrino with that knee. Charlie horse area. Contact there as Jefferson was getting walled off. Burt went down hard earlier in the 33rd minute. Bongwe called for the yellow. Only booking so far in this contest for Canada, as we're now in the 45th minute. We'll see if Canada tries to press here. So one question mark so far for St. Kitts and Nevis is how do they close? Against Cuba, they didn't give up any goals in stoppage time in the first or second half, but against the United States, they did. 4 goals. So yeah, First 40-plus minutes are important, but how do you finish the header coming out? Steven looked like he ran into Jefferson, but of course, all eyes will be on the keeper. Steven's okay, so is Jefferson. And that's going to do it for the first half. Not many moments of dramatics, but I tell you what, relatively clean game. Canada tactically is trying to move their way down the pitch against St. Kitts and Nevis. At the end of 45 minutes of play, we're playing to a scoreless draw. We'll be back.
Y el mutuo respeto son fundamentales en el fútbol. La conducta discriminatoria.
First half action, not a whole lot of it between St. Kitts and Nevis and Canada. Canadians want at least 1 point, feel comfortable about themselves. And in the opening 45 minutes of action, they did most of the work. St. Kitts and Nevis, they're just trying to get to the scoring column. They've been blasted in their first two affairs, losing by a combined 16 goals. In the first 45, relatively clean when you're looking at what Canada did do offensively. The chances were coming out wide, too, and you're looking at Vibert Steven in goal here today for St. Kitts and Nevis. He's been tested on a couple different occasions, but a clean sheet so far, and they have to be at least happy with that. That opportunity from Zoo here, just missing the far bar. Kind of a what attempt just outside the 18, slowly trickling in. But on the flip side, Ben Alexander not really tested. This is actually the best scoring chance of the first 45. And a fine play defensively from Alphonse Jefferson to wipe it away at the last second. Jefferson there going offensively out the back line to make an attempt. But nevertheless, match is scoreless right now at the end of 45 minutes of play. So you're looking at some adjustments and what can be made. Overall for Canada, they've been pretty good. Nothing being directly targeted towards Steven. They've been coming outside. The shots have been more than plentiful. And the one booking happened right there. Hugo Mbangwe called for it in the 32nd minute. That attempt would have been resulting in an own goal as Morris went up, tried skying that ball over his own keeper's net. Steven happy about it, though, and so are the officials. So on a pleasant Wednesday night, match right now scoreless. Can't brag about a whole lot if you're Canada or St. Kitts and Nevis, but the differential in score, not bad for one team, not good for the other. Shots are now 10-3 in favor of Canada. Shots on goal 4-1. Fouls nearly identical. Corners, you can see it. It's been dominated by one side. And the possession column, 69% to 31%. Feels like just a matter of time. And coming into this contest, you figure how high would Canada go in the scoring column. But the first 45 have nothing to show for it, as this match right now is scoreless.
Concacaf app. No matter where you are or who you're rooting for, you can watch your favorite competitions, teams, and players on the go. Get the latest news on all things CONCACAF. Get access to stats, play-by-play, players' information, schedule, and standings. Get instant notifications and alerts. Discover other fans like you. And show your support in social media with our exclusive camera filters. All of that and much more. Take your CONCACAF experience to the next level. Download now the official CONCACAF app, available on the App Store and Google Play.
At the table doing shots, tripping fast and we talk slow. Come over and start up a conversation with just me, and trust me, I'll give it a chance. Now take my hand, stop, and the man on the jukebox, and then we start to dance. And I'm singing like, girl, you know I want your love. Your love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead. I may be crazy, don't mind me. Say, boy, let's not talk too much. Grab on my waist and put that body on me. Coming now, follow my lead. Coming now, follow my lead. hours and hours about the sweet and sour and how your family's doing okay. And even getting a taxi, kissing the backseat, tell the driver make the radio play. Sing it like, girl, you know I want your love. Your love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead. I may be crazy, don't mind me. Say, boy, let's not talk too much. Grab on my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. I'm in love with the shape of you. Push and pull like a magnet. Although my heart is falling too. I'm in love with your body. Last night you were in my room. Now my bedsheets smell like you. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with your body. 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 Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with the shape of you. Come on, be my baby. 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 Come on. I'm in love with the shape of you. Push and pull like a magnet. Although my heart is falling too. I'm in love with your body. Last night you were in my room. Now my bedsheets smell like you. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with your body. Come on, be my baby. Come on, be I'm in love with your body. Be my baby. Come on, be I'm in love with your body. Come on, be my baby. Come on, be I'm in love with your body. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with the shape of you. No puede haber donde la encontraría otra mujer igual que tú. No puede haber desgracias de verdad otra mujer igual.
Second half is about to get underway. Group E competition closing out on a Wednesday night. Canada looking for a point. St. Kitts and Nevis looking for a goal. Looks like we will have at least one substitution coming our way. We'll wait for confirmation on that. Justin Smith hanging out for a little bit. Mauro Biello, the manager, trying to make some changes, at least trying to ignite his offense. The man right there, Ben Alexander, yet to be really be tested, the 18-year-old from British Columbia. Yielded 3 goals so far. So we'll see who Smith comes in for. On the opposing side, Kevin Walsh. Justin will come in for Gabriel Pellegrino. So 4 for 14. Smith, born back in February. 2003, actually born in Paris, France. So the opportunity to play in North America or in Europe. He has the opportunity to do both. The second half is underway. Canada moving from left to right now on your screen. St. Kitts and Nevis will be trickling down the field from right to left in their green tops, the green bottoms. Canada in the white tops, red around the letters and the numbers, of course, respectively. Did not have any changes for St. Kitts and Nevis. Zuhir. So the one change coming to open up the second half was Smith for Pellegrino. And we'll see how long this match goes along with it being scoreless. If you're just joining us, that first half, not a lot of fireworks. In fact, the first half you saw Canada have 10 shots, 4 of them on target to just the 1 for St. Kitts and Nevis. Smith. See how much of an impact in the second half Kobe Franklin has. Catabolo. Pivot. Catabolo wanted it back. Trying to grab the edge. Identical start to this contest. This one's airmailed. Second half and start of this match, the same in terms of the approach. Rizzo here for Montreal, Canada. Mentioned him joining Montreal Impact Academy in 2016. They were later renamed CF Montreal. Made his pro debut last year, so now he's getting his feet wet and into the deep end of the pool. Was also added to Morocco's U-20 squad this year. Dual citizenship has its perks, doesn't it? And we see this happen all the time. Players in Canada, the United States, Mexico get to go every which way. The dual citizenship. That also includes what they do if they play at the university level. Bongway couldn't win it. Long window. Should have done. Took it away. So Kitts and Nevis, no real counter in their attack. That's going to be Jefferson was draped all over him. Could have worn him like a hanger.
Everyone else marking. Good. Kobe in the wall. Read us. You're going to mark.
The second real chance of this contest for St. Kitts and Nevis. We'll see positionally how Canada will align their defense. Catabolo, side by side. Zion Nisbet is going to take this. Right foot placement, nearly perfect on it. Right foot, just a complete miss hit by Morris. And he's looking up to the heavens because he knew it. Those opportunities have been far and few for St. Kitts and Nevis today. And if you are Morris, you have to at least bury that chance. But he could not. '51st minute. Smith trailing on the play. There is Smith. Outside. Contact just outside the 18. Cannavolo, second time today he's been taken down rather aggressively, and that one's knee-to-knee contact. Burt was the one that got him. Robiolo now thinking about, can they get something here? And a similar approach on a free kick in the first half. Shot though had gone wide. So here had that attempt, and we'll have this one here. About 25 yards out for Zuhir. Takes it, drove in right into the wall. Cannavolo's shot. That one never had a chance. It was going to hit the side of the net. But it goes off the paws of Steven. Steven's been playing well today in net for St. Kitts and Nevis. He's been tested on a couple of occasions. Answered the call every single time. St. Kitts and Nevis, you're trying to see what kind of offense they can manufacture. Zan Nisbet, one youthful player, the 17-year-old from Leicester. Chance here, getting wiped away. Abibula. Smith. Playing his club ball with OGC Nice in France. Represent Canada here today. Smith has it back. It's Kobe Franklin out wide, but didn't get it to him. Not sure why Franklin had his arm up all the way, asking for it. See the shape given today by St. Kitts and Nevis. They haven't changed their approach defensively. Of course, when you get blitzed like they did in game one against the United States, losing 10-0, you have to change up how things look in your second and third affairs. And that's why they've gone rather heavy on the back line. Franklin. Let's see. Franklin again. That one a little too sky high from Bangwe. And this results in a goal kick. Cannavolo working quickly. Into the 56th minute. Not really a peep from St. Kitts and Nevis offensively. Back inside, the approach getting taken down. Smith wanted to pounce on it, and he got contact. And this will be a foul against Franklin. Pretty decent look. Ribula, who got taken down. Not earn a booking though. Bongway, all the way up front, trying to penetrate that back five. Jefferson might wind this one up though. Given a couple more steps, he would have pulled the trigger. Smith trying to create, dancing around, touch Carabolo. Caught an elbow, nice move outside, right foot off the crossbar. Zuhair hit it flush. It was right. Steven had no chance on it. Smith. There's some cracks now in the defense of St. Kitts and Nevis. But again, Canada has nothing to show for it. Couple more substitutions. Keyshawn Ferdinand coming into the contest. Lowell Wright will come in, playing for York United FC. Tiago Coimbra also making his way in. Coimbra's been all over the map, literally and figuratively speaking. Lived in North America from the age of 9 to 16. Played in Vancouver before moving to Brazil. Palmeiras. So you talk about a taste for life. Long ways out. Now the big question is does Canada have the right combination to at least get one goal? Feel much better about yourself, not only if you can get a win here today, but also moving up in Group E. The likelihood of that happening, though, for Canada is rather pressed. Out wide, the header, no. That attempt, the header off the hands of Steven, it finds the back of the net, and Canada leads 1-0. Tactically, they were patient, and Coimbra, who just came into the affair, was rewarded. 1-0 Canada.
Papai, eles duvidaram! Eles duvidaram! Tudo bem! Tudo bem!
You see Tiago just outside the 6. Great header. And that thing had enough English on it. Should not be an own goal. It won't be. I'll tell you what. Carabolo was near the goal line. Not trying to hijack a goal, but want to make sure that thing got home. We'll wait for the official scoring on it. Canada doesn't care. They got one. And it is 1-0. Tiago gets it in the 59th minute, credited with the goal. Huge goal. As we've now entered the 60th minute. 1-0 Canada, finally breaking things off away from St. Kitts and Nevis. And for a team that has done nothing offensively on the day, St. Kitts and Nevis now with a goal differential of -17. St. Kitts and Nevis 4 shots, 1 of them on target. For Canada, they have 14 total. Cadavolo's down. Into the box. Burt trying to be creative. Wins it back. See Ferdinand placed in the back line for Canada. Bit on the corner. 17-year-old on a line drive. Someone gets it back. Chiuta. Jones into the box. That was rather dangerous. They got up and onto Jefferson. Jefferson's okay though. So Canada with a 1-0 advantage. Scoring here in the second half. I say Thiago Coimbra scored in the 60th minute, in fact. But we hit it at the 58th. We'll wait for confirmation later if you want to get things accurate and on point. Let's see, Smith. And here's Zuhair. Zuhair had a great chance moments prior to the goal, hit the crossbar. A couple inches south, it's going in the net. A couple inches north, it's going well over, but nevertheless, it's only 1-0. And for a team like St. Kitts and Nevis that has been badly outplayed through 2+ affairs, this is like a mountain to climb. Smith, see if he tees up on this one. Wants to get it back, does not. Cadavolo lets it fly, he scores! Cadavolo lets it rip from just outside the 18. Picks a corner, picks his spot, and it's 2-0 Canada. See Cadavolo with a good pivot, and he knew exactly where he was going with it. Right foot, picture perfect. Steve with no chance on it. And Canada delivering its will and up 2-0. You figure it was just a matter of time. For Cadavolo, it's his first goal of the Concacaf U-20 championships. does have assist on his resume, but the goal occurring here in the 64th minute. And if you thought 1-0 was bad for St. Kitts and Nevis, a 2-0 advantage. This could be lights out. Feels like it anyway. Dorset coming into the match. St. Kitts and Nevis lost to the United States 10-0. Got beat by Cuba 6-0. They only trailed 1-0 at the end of the first half against Cuba. Today, it was scoreless at the end of 45 minutes. And then 2 goals from Canada in the last 6 minutes have cracked things open. Now, if you're Canada, you look at 2 things. 1, the scoring ledger, and 2, the clock. You want to get in and get out. No injuries, of course, because things could drastically change if one of your premier players, whether it's offensively or defensively, takes a spill. The aspirations of playing in the round of 16 will be realized, but once you get there, you have the opportunity. It's a shakeup between the groups. All things considered, they're staring at playing Panama here in the next couple days. Those matches are set for June the 25th and June the 26th. The quarterfinals are few days after that, which is interesting, right? They don't play once every week. 2 games in 3 days, so no rest for the weary. Of course, when you're at this age of 17, 18, 19, recovery time is that much quicker. Carabolo. Ferdinand with the touch. He just came in moments ago. Jefferson. He's played well. He's gone goal line to goal line today. Campagna to Smith. Taken down and lost. Dorset, who had won that ball, played it up to Burt. Burt inside the 18, left foot. That one goes dribbling in. Easy stop for Alexander, who's working on a clean sheet. Just about 20 minutes to play in this contest. Talking about riding the ladder as they'll see. He gets undercut by Myers. Wasn't with great intent either. Now, the one curious thing too, if you are Canada with a 2-0 advantage, is are you taking your foot off the collective gas? Or are you trying to double your score? So the one difference between the elite teams and the ones that are trying to get there is who plays to the level of competition and who plays to their own skill set. Here's Zuhair. Zuhair playing over 200 minutes now, making his 2nd start in 3 games. Wearing the captain's armband today. on the delivery. Far bar. Nearly came back to him. Nisbet. Trying to reverse the sequence here. So here back onto his foot. Nice lead feed. Steven comes off of his line and collects it. Joining us now, first half was uneventful. Shots were 10-4 for Canada. 4 of them on target. Just 1 for St. Kitts and Nevis. The scoring advantages and the opportunities favored Canada. Possession time was 69-31. Have they leveled off? No chance. In fact, they've widened a little bit. But it does feel like at least everyone for Canada has been involved in the act. They've gone to the bench a few times, so there are a handful of replacements. Morbiello, who made a few substitutions. In doing so, that's when the offense started coming. Not to say that there was a lack of creativity or scoring opportunities, but the goals came after the substitutions were made. Take that for what it is. Final 18 of this. Aussie. Trying to deliver 1-on-2. For them. And a reverse play. United States and Cuba on deck. They're the nightcap. But we put Group E to bed on this Wednesday night. Zuhir with a lane. Let's see. Back to Smith. Justin gets taken down. A slight hesitation from the official. O'Shea Nation. Be the judge of this. Just a slight step, and that's what got Burt called for the foul. Smith is okay. Tegucigalpa, weather and the conditions today are rather clean. About a 50-50 shot of rain. It's never occurred. Or I guess you could say it hasn't occurred yet. Humidity is about 74%, so it's certainly up there. Coimbra couldn't win it. Now it looks like we might have a substitution on our near side. Wait and see who this is. Shaheen Prentice. Omarion LeBird will depart. Or I beg your pardon, Burt will step aside. Got a couple players coming in for St. Kitts and Nevis. They're in a tough bind right now, in danger of going 0-3. Rocco Brown coming in. Brown in, Prentice in. Mal Henry coming in for Canada. And Catavola will depart. Leaves with a goal. It's the insurance marker. that occurred in the 64th minute. Morbiello getting some of his other players valuable experience. Even though it's 2-0, it feels like it's insurmountable. Poku. And you can't discount having this kind of time on a stage like this, representing your nation. Alexander with a rare touch. Looking to log his first clean sheet here of Concacaf U-20 championships. Ferdinand skips it up. Coimbra, right foot. Nice bat away at the last second from Steven. Coimbra elected not to settle it down. Had he done that, I think his fate would have been a little bit better. It's a nice touch pass from Henry, wasting a little time to deliver it. Looking for his first point. Coimbra goes up, lands on his wallet. That left-footed strike is picture perfect, and it's 3-0 Canada. Right with an absolute blast just inside the 18. He made no mistake about it, and this thing is a rout. Well, Canada is simply rolling the second half. You see Wright, he had nowhere but upward to go. Clear path for him, left-footed bullet, and Steven had no chance on it. So for Wright, he's into the scoring column. And if you're Canada, you got to be pleased with that, because on a set piece like this, you want to make sure you're delivering at least quality scoring chances, and of course, the highest mark you can grab is a goal. They got it. So right in the 77th minute, Coimbra, a move. Another move, that right foot. Steven got the paw on it. Punched it away at the last second. Not going to pin this on the keeper today. And Steven's been under constant duress. The bending of the first half from St. Kitts and Nevis' back line has fully been broken and busted up here in the second half. 3 goals in the last 16 minutes. Henry. That left foot is shanked as we approach the final 10. Sprung loose, Sissi. Try to nab the corner, good step. Good placement, that one goes off the heel and into the back of the net. Henry this time. Henry squirted that one through the wickets of a defender and past Steven. And it's 4-0 Canada. Tell you what, Henry the recipient, but the tenacity out wide. You see the agility being displayed here. A near takedown. He goes around Mills, and yeah, Henry on the doorstep gets rewarded. It's a great heel from Henry, and it's 4-0. Well, the finish any way you can get it, right? Henry in the 79th minute. So now if you're looking at how this game was unfolding, feels exactly what has happened to St. Kitts and Nevis in game 1 and in game 2, is that they go through a tough spell and the doors get blown off. United States scored a handful of goals in stoppage time in the first half against them. 4 goals, in fact. And then the match against Cuba, in which they were only down 1-0, well, the Cubans got them with 4 goals in the final 18 minutes. Of course, that's why you play a full 90, right? Let's see. Trying to hurdle. As we're in the 82nd minute. And keep in mind, too, Canada's not playing to embarrass anybody. They're just playing a play. A goal differential that was -1 from heading into today is now +3. Do they have a shot to climb to as high as second? I mean, there's a shot, but the United States right now at 2 would need to lose and get absolutely throttled by Cuba. Defending champs didn't see that happening to them. Quick look at Mills, who was still down. Don't know if that's a cramp from Mills or not. Go back to the Henry goal. See that chip from a C and just inside the foot, maybe the back heel from Henry. But that was sweet. The joys, the smiles, the youthful jubilance of what you got right there, clearly on display for Canada. Canadians in the Concacaf U-20 championships. A couple titles, as we had mentioned. 1996. Did that in Mexico. And back in 1986, Trinidad and Tobago. Outside of that, they've finished as high as second a handful of times. They were a runner-up back in 1978. Henry. See the touch. A little bit of a miss hit there. Keep in mind with the Concacaf U-20 championships, it was wiped away in 2020 because of COVID. Fared too well over the last handful of years, though. 2017, they were wiped away in group stage. Prior to that, most noticeable stuff was in the early 2000s. Back in 1996, when they did win it all, Ferdinand, that ball goes off of Smith's left foot into the net, but I think there was contact there with Ferdinand. 1996 championship squad, played in 5 matches and 4 wins and a draw. Clamped people down. 5 matches, they only yielded 2 goals. Daquan Joseph coming into the match for Zion Nesbitt. 20 for 10. That one got up on Ferdinand. You see, immediately grabbing his nose. So now if you're Canada, you could be looking at what happens tonight with the United States and Cuba. And then additionally, you'll be curious to see what happens across the other groups. One of note is Group G. El Salvador, Panama, Guatemala. Guatemala and Panama are tied right now in terms of points. The one difference makers, Panama has a +3 goal differential. Guatemala -2. So when you break down the columns, for all intents and purposes, it looks like it'll be Panama versus Canada. Of course, things can change over the next 24 to 48 hours. Zoo here, got it back. Final again will be on July the 3rd, so there's no real rest for these nations. And if you are St. Kitts and Nevis, you have a lot of work to do. The changes need to come across the board, though. For Kevin Walsh, the manager. They have generated no offense on the day. Did not do anything in these 3 contests against the U.S. and Cuba. And you can only play defense for so long. Coimbra trying to win it there. See that contact from Henry. Jostling a bit for positioning. Coimbra with his first goal in the 60th minute. Looks to be the game-winning goal. Cadavolo in the 65th, the insurance marker. Wright in the 78th, and then Henry in the 80th. So 4 goals in a 20-minute span. Busted this thing loose. Henry, left foot, off the pause again of Steven. Robert Steven. Challenged a whole lot on the day. Let's see Sky up for that. Shots right now are 20-5. 20-5. Possession time for Canada's 70-30. Corners are 9-1. Now make it 10-1 with Zuhir on the approach. On the backside at wide open net, Ferdinand really fanned on that shot. And then Wright airmailed it. Wright came into the match and scored instantly in the 78th minute. In fact, Wright came in about the 59-minute mark. And we'll get 60 seconds of extra time. It won't mean much for either side. Goal differential, at least for Canada, goes from -1 to +3. And for St. Kitts and Nevis, an even -20. Not good. And that is putting it mildly. Lost 10-0 to the United States, 6-0 to Cuba, and now 4-0 to Canada here today. And for Canada, to the round of 16, they have a lot of work in front of them, but of course, they get to scout for a bit now. Wright's attempt, no. And this should just about do it. Stephen will get up, I think, once he makes this touch. Action will be blown dead. One final corner here, and that's pretty much what you hear on the pitch right now. Delivery here, the header, that one goes a bit wide. And the final whistle is mercifully blown as this match has come to a conclusion. So Canada did what they needed to do. Business was done here on a Wednesday night, and the dispatch St. Kitts and Nevis by a final score of 4-0.
Canadá 4, St. Kitts y Nevis 0.
Mesa que más aplauda, mesa que más aplauda, mesa que más aplauda, le manda la niña, mesa que más aplauda, sí, mesa